Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for always tuning into my videos. I really hope you find this video helpful. The reason why I decided to do this video is because when I was a beginner, I shopped for a whole lot of makeup brushes because that's just what everyone had, and I thought that was what was required. But then I realized that you don't need a million brushes to do a flawless face beat. So this is really the purpose of this video. I'm just trying to show the beginner that you don't need a lot of brushes to have a flawless face, and hopefully these tips and tricks will come in handy when you do go shopping for some makeup brushes or when you are doing your face, because more often than not, we actually do have the brushes but we just don't know how to use them. So if you feel like this is something that will interest you, please continue watching. Thank you so much for all your support. I love you guys. Not a single comment, like, share, subscription goes unnoticed. Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much, and I am determined to give you guys quality but also useful content. Now, if you know me, you know I'm obsessed with the Elizabeth Arden 8-Hour Cream. Ooh, grim. That's what I'm putting on my lips right now. So yeah, hi. Let's get started. Okay, cool. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with a primer all over my face. You don't really need a brush for this. I'm just using my fingertips. I'm going in with the Benefit what's going on with my English? Benefit Pore Professional Primer, just to minimize the appearance of my pores. The next primer I'm going to go in with is this Revlon Rose Glow Primer. This really helps just give my face a nice luminous glow and helps the application of my foundation to just be nice and silky and smooth. Okay, cool. So next step is foundation. Now I usually use either a beauty blender or a very dense foundation brush. This beauty blender I got from Clicks or Discam, I think. I'm not too sure, but I think it was about 50 or 60 rand. Please do notice this beauty blender is very damp. If you wring it tight enough, you can still see the water squeezing out. If I'm not using a beauty blender, I will be using my very dense foundation brush. As you can see, the bristles are very tightly packed together. It's very soft. I got this specific brush from NYX. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to be using both a beauty blender and a foundation brush for my foundation. This is just to let you guys see that the finish is almost identical. If you do pay close attention with both tools, I'm using a very gentle amount of pressure. I'm lightly just dabbing the foundation onto my skin and I am building it up as I go. I'm not trying to put on a lot of foundation at one go because that's what moves the foundation around and then that's what makes your foundation cake. So I'm using just a very light strokes, very small dabs, building up as I go, taking my time with it because I know that this is the key to a flawless makeup base. Next step is concealer. I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible Concealer and I'm just going to apply it under my eyes. I'm going to be using again same tools I use for my foundation, which is either a foundation brush or a beauty blender. Again, this is just to show you guys that you don't need to change your brush when you are applying your foundation. It'll still give you the same effect. You do not need a million brushes. Again, the amount of pressure I'm applying using both tools is very light amounts of pressure, gently dabbing, not moving the product around too much. I make sure I always look up to the seam because this will help prevent my concealer from creasing, and yeah, just blend away. Okay, so the next thing you want to do after applying your concealer, you want to set it immediately. This is before I contour or anything because I do not want to risk my concealer creasing. Then I'm going to go in with this brush I got from MAC. Not too sure of the number, but I think it's 516. I will put it in the description box once I check. I love, love, love this flat brush. You can go in with any fluffy-ish, flattish brush. I'm not sure you guys understand, but any brush that looks like this pretty much will do the job. So what you want to do is you want to pick up your setting powder using your flat fluffy brush. That's what we're going to call it. And we're going to gently dust off the powder just so we don't have too much. We want enough to literally tuck in under our eyes. In fact, before I apply this powder under my eyes, I do go back in with a blending brush and just make sure that my eyes are blended and my concealer has not started to crack under my eye. This happens extremely fast, so just be careful with this. Okay, so once your concealer is set and there is no more chances of your face creasing, you're going to go in with a contouring brush. Because this is a beginner's video, I'm not going to do the whole cream contour thing. I'm just going to go in with this angled brush I got from Beauty Treats from Discam. I think it was about like 60 Rand or so if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to go in with this brush and just a loose powdered contour. I'm going to shape my face like this. I'm sure you guys know the drill. And again, the amount of pressure I'm applying is very, very gentle. You always want to apply a very, very soft pressure on while doing your makeup. This will ensure a flawless finished look. If you do want more product, you can go in and add and just build the product up as you go. Okay, so once you've contoured your face, now you want to go in with some bronzer just to blend out the contour. I'm going to be using the exact same brush I used to contour my face, and I'm going to go slightly above my contour and just, blend that in like I'm doing. This is not really a makeup tutorial, but I'm just showing you that you can use your contouring brush for your blending brush. Okay. Okay, so introducing our final brush for our base or face. This is the common powder brush. I'm sure everybody has this brush at home. I usually use it for my compact powder if I'm out and about and I want to touch up my makeup. This is the brush I use to apply my blush, and again, this is the brush that I use to just buff and blend out my entire face. So I'm just going to apply some blush and I'm going to blend out the rest of my face using this very same brush. Okay, so I'm sure you girls are getting a little bit tired. This is a lot of information, but I promise you this is going to be so helpful. I know it. Next up is brows. I know a lot of people do brows before their base. It doesn't really matter, but I use these two brushes to conceal my brows. Again, I use them very interchangeably. I'm going to use the one on the one brow and the other on the other brow. The first brush I got from MAC Cosmetics. I think this is the MAC 212 brush. This brush is kind of pricey. It's about 300 Rand, but I've had it for about 4 years now, and so it's definitely totally worth it. The second brush I'm using is from Frisk Beauty. I always like to make sure that this brush is nice and flat and really, really nice and sharp. This is the same brush I use for a cut crease. Now that's just a whole nother topic for another day, and I don't necessarily think beginners are doing cut creases, but it's pretty self-explanatory. You just flatten it out and it gives you that cut crease shape already, and that's how you can use it to do a cut crease. Okay, so once you've used any one of the two brushes, notice that I have pulled down the concealer just a little bit, and then I'm going to go in with my foundation brush or my beauty blender just to blend out this concealer onto the rest of my eye so that it creates a base for my eyeshadow. Next step is eyeshadow, and I will only use two eyeshadow brushes. I will use a flat one and I'll use a fluffy one. With the flat one, I'll use that one to pack the color onto my eyelid like so. And then I will go in with the fluffy brush and blend the color in circular motions. I will list all the brushes in the description box and also where I got them and how much they are because I just can't remember right now. Again, very, very little pressure. Take your time with this and it will come out perfect, I swear. So once you're done with your eyeshadow, you just want to go in with your powder brush and just set that concealer under your eyebrows. I usually do this because I don't do transition colors and whatnot. So this really, really helps and is a much quicker way of just setting that concealer. Last but definitely not least, I'm going to go in with the same powder brush just to apply some highlighter.